Now we're going to look at some ways to take samples. Well, in this case, I'm going to present an example. Anthony De Luca lives in a high-rise cooperative apartment complex with 30 floors and 20 apartments on each floor. The board of the Homeowners Association wants to sample the opinions of its membership on switching to a new management service. Anthony is supposed to take a sample of 60 homeowners. So he's going to use those results to make his recommendation. The question is, how is he going to pick the 60 homeowners? Well, one thing he could do is says, well, I'm going to go ahead and pick them based on who I think is representative. The problem is Anthony doesn't know the hundreds of homeowners, so how is he going to know who to pick? And not only that, when you use judgment, you tend to avoid the troublemakers, the extremes. You want to pick average people, so it tends to distort the data. Not only that, it's very hard to keep out personal biases, whether you mean to or not. On a subconscious or conscious level, it's very hard to do that. Well, he could say, okay, then I'm going to leave myself out of it. I will put a questionnaire in the lobby and then see what we get. Well, the problem there is you're going to have people who respond who have strong opinions. So instead of having the more what we think is average person, we're going to have the more extreme views. So that would also bias your results. We could do a convenience sample and just stand at the entrance and ask their opinions as they enter. That sounds kind of random, but the problem there is your response might vary according to the time of day. Just like we were talking about in that apartment problem, maybe you did it while people were at work. People were out eating dinner or something, and you missed something that's of those people who were not available. So there are some ways of creating fair samples. And what basically all statistical sampling designs have in common the idea of chance. We don't want to have any bias introduced there. So, and human choice is usually what does that. So there are 4 types. There's simple random sample, stratified sample, cluster sample, and systematic sample. So there's always going to be some sample-to-sample differences. This is called sampling variability, regardless of which of these 4 types you do. So each of my next 4 videos, very short, will go over each of these types of samples.